Welcome to Take 5 with AWS and PwC. Dan Priest here of PwC Cloud and Digital. I'm delighted to be joined by a special guest from AWS, Kamal Arora, for a lightning round style conversation to discuss how you can instill a culture of security in your organization. Kamal, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dan.
So before we dive into today's topic, let's start with a personal one. I'm curious, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self in pursuing a career in cloud? And bonus points for being able to explain what cloud is to your 18-year-old self.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting one, Dan. When I was 18, I was thinking more about programming, coding, and building more efficient algorithms or fancy UIs and more tech-oriented things. But over a period of time, since the time I've been a solution architect, I realize I think understanding the business context, understanding where the customer is coming from, why they are requiring a particular solution, understanding the compliance or risk profile around it, and having that broader context on what the customer is trying to achieve using that solution. I think that is something which I would definitely give myself an advice if I were to go back in time.
Where were you when I was 18? Good advice. Now, it's no secret that the talent gap is a growing challenge facing organizations, especially those in need of cloud and security talent. Specifically, what challenges in regards to talent are they facing? Is there a lack of existing talent? Is there a lack of time to upskill? What are your thoughts?
It's a multitude of things, Dan, in my opinion. Definitely, there is a talent shortage. In fact, Amazon has announced that we'll be training 29 million people on cloud computing and tech by 2025. We even have programs at the higher education institutions, programs like AWS Academy or programs like AWS Educate. So there are those kind of things. Then there are programs which are geared towards, say, military veterans, right? So there is definitely that opportunity where we build that funnel of people coming into the IT industry and building that skill right at the get-go. The other dimension to this, Dan, is that existing IT professionals, we have to look at it from that angle as well, from their reskilling, upscaling, cross-skilling as well, because they're straddling between the traditional on-premise experience versus the new digital experience, which is enabled by cloud. So that move from traditional IT to cloud is another dimension which needs to be handled. And I think a lot of the organizations are already investing in it, but still there is an opportunity to do more there too.
Excellent. So what are some good ways other companies are addressing the talent gap?
So having a broader understanding of cloud and security should be everyone's responsibility, and programs and initiatives should be geared towards that. So that is where I see a lot of the customers are really focusing on to not just localize the knowledge, but maybe kind of take it to the broader organization. That's a very important thing. But beyond that, Dan, the other thing which I see is that a lot of the organizations where the skilling and all this thing is a challenge, they need to have a vision top down, like what their targets are, what kind of areas they are lacking the skill on currently, and how to bridge that gap and look at future. So they take aggressive goals top down in that direction. I've even seen some of the leaders, they actually take goals and they do it themselves as well. I've seen VPs, CISOs, CIOs as well, who go ahead and kind of do the training curriculum or certification for AWS and cloud on their own. And that motivates their organization to kind of leap into that same direction. So leading by example is one of the things which really works well. The other thing which I've seen works well is sort of creating that community of learning, or maybe that culture of gamification as well a little bit, where you create a community internally with your organization by shared channels, brown bag sessions, even hackathons or maybe game days and all those kind of things, where people get some real life experience by doing hands-on. Then on top of it, incentive models. I mean, some organizations are also creating those incentive models where people get digital badges. Or in Amazon, we actually have a phone tool icon, which people cherish. So those kind of things really motivate people. So I think those are some of the mechanisms, Dan, which I've seen work very well. So it's all about creating that culture top down and enabling the people on the ground to learn and enable them in that journey.
Well, that's a lot, and we covered a lot in just 5 minutes. Kamal, thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned for the next opportunity to take 5 with AWS and PwC. See you soon.